Welcome to a little segment I like to call Bumps and Bends. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bumps and Bends for the Formula Sprint series, 2020 Series 1. Not a fan, guys. This is a very, very tough track this week. The aero is really low. The grip in the tyres is really low. High temperatures are really important. And I'm getting a lot of this. This is into turn 1. Just finding that balance. It wants to, the harder you push it into turn 1, the more it oversteers. And the less you push it into turn 1, the more time that you lose. So, finally got a 51.8, but have a look at this. This is a lot of practice this morning. Brake bias, I had down at low 55, and it really wasn't capturing the car mid-corner, and I was spinning quite a lot in all parts of the circuit. So I'll show you a 51.888, which is what I finally got. 51.9 I did with an X, but I'll be the first one to put my hand up to say that I am struggling this week. I just watched spectated a race, which is what I'm doing at the start of each week for Formula Sprint. Having a look at these guys now. I'm starting to nickname them the Rat Pack. You've got Johnny Edgar, Dino Beganovic, Sebastian Ogard, and I think also Isaac Clark. They now have the same livery, so they're joining up as a team, but they're all really young blokes, go-karters, professional go-karters. Dino Beganovic has been signed with the Junior Ferrari program, so these kids have got talent, but geez, they race dirty. Johnny Edgar at the start, he slammed on the brakes as soon as the safety car went in, packed the field up, and as soon as his teammate in second, Dino, went past him and caused that concertina, he was off, and no one saw Johnny after that. They're doing really good times, low 51s, and they're doing them quite quick. Also watch their qualifying lap, well, Johnny's qualifying lap, and I'll show you what he did later on. Little trick, don't know if it's legal or not, but let's have a look at a 51.8 from my view. Rightio, get some of the overlays off. Let's do this. So I'm going hard into turn 1, just trying to find that front end grip and then get on the throttle as early as possible. More about front end grip. Now this is about setting up the following corner. Short shift into 4th, don't hit any bumps. A lot of bumps this week. Find a nice comfy braking spot where you're turning and braking into the chicane. Don't touch those red sausages. Straight line here. Try and throw as much speed into this part of the track as possible, and then you've got really limited rear grip out of the last section and then onto the home stretch. That's a 51.8. So let's have a look at the lap once again. From the outside, there's a lot to look at, so let's get stuck into it. So I'm looking at roughly the 1 marker. The leaders, I don't know where they're braking, but they're heading into turn 1 in 6th. I just haven't got the skill, to be honest, to hold the rear end, but they're managing to do it. And just throw it in. I'm going dead to 4th. Try not to go too wide, but setting up the next corner. 3rd will pull the front end in. Get on that throttle as early as possible. 4th, and then throw it in, and then go down to 3rd, which will help the front end go in. Focus on this part of the track. Now what you're doing is you're actually setting up the following corner from here. So you just want to modulate your throttle So you get a good exit where you end up on this side of the track. If you end up over here, you're compromising too much speed into this corner. And this is an important corner. I'm short shifting into fourth, because that's what the leaders were doing. And if you touch any of this concrete at all, it will unsettle the car. And as you're unsettled, it will actually bump across and you won't get that proper exit line. Smooth is fast at this track, and it's really hard to be smooth because the car is dancing all over the place. This is just a pretty much a drag strip, a straight. Coming up to this section of Lime Rock, my braking reference is the start of the concrete here, but my braking marker is more like here. And if you have a look at my little sketch there, my trace, see I'm braking very early. I'm trying to brake as straight as possible in the first part of the braking zone and just timing the downshifts of the gears. I'm going down to third and then turning into second and trying to get off the brake and carry as much speed as possible. But if you carry too much speed, it will throw you a little bit wide here, which also compromises your race line here. So just find that balance, practice, practice, practice. I've done a lot today. Now, do not touch these. They will either destroy your car or they'll throw you in the air. So try and just miss them. The concrete strips are relatively smooth. They just help flick the car a little bit. Now, finding that perfect throttle out moment where you're just basically trying to straight line as much as possible, getting over the hill. Now, as you're getting over the hill on the exit, you can't actually see it while you're driving, but in a bid to straight line the track, you can see my left tire. I'm trying to straight line it up here. But my left tire is just near that section. Try not to touch this bit of concrete. It'll throw the car up a little bit. You're not going to do yourself any favors. If you hit it the wrong way, it will spin the car. So just straight lining. Once again, straight lining here. Relatively flat, but my line is sort of, I'm looking for up here. So it's all about minimizing the length of the circuit. If you're setting up this corner too early, you're actually lengthening the circuit. Now this section here, in a replay, I have shadows turned off, but while I was driving, this is completely shaded by the trees. Now I'm braking quite early. The guys were roughly, the leaders, they're my reference today, were roughly braking here and throwing it towards this apex. There's a lot of asphalt out here, and I got my time by ending up as far wide as possible for the following corner after that. So I'm not slamming on the brakes, but I'm just trying to carry as much speed through here as possible. And see, I'm really wide there, but I was half a second faster than my lap earlier by doing this. And my focus is on this corner. More practice and the more confident you get, you really want the car to be one car width across, theoretically. So your cut-in point at this corner has as much speed as possible. But you don't want too much speed because the corner after that is extremely sketchy and low grip. So I'm just trying to cut it in, and at this point I'm not even thinking about this corner. I'm trying to think of my switchback direction and switchback speed. Because if you switch back too early, turn that. If you switch back too early, it's very easy to get an X, and it's very, very easy to get a slowdown. You don't want to slow down, and what that does, it tends to push you wide, a lot wider than you want to go, which really affects your exit. So I'm cutting in here. This is a 0x corner. And this corner here, that switchback, that is just good enough. Any further across, you'll get an X and straighten the car up. You'll get an X and a slowdown. And this is really low grip on the rears. The qualifying guys are really abusing the rear tires on their warm-up lap. And then just try to get onto that throttle as early as possible. Do it too early, it'll send you wide, you'll spin, and your lap is over, or your race is over. And then it's pretty much standard back to the finish line. I'm not a fan of this version of the track, but yeah. Now coming up to this section here, I watched Johnny Edgar on his qualifying lap. And what he did is he actually came across here and he actually stopped. And what he did after he stopped, I thought he was going to warm the tires up. He reversed the car all the way to the cones and then he took off. And what that is going to do, obviously, I don't know if it's cheating or not. It's going to give you more speed here into the final corner and set you up at the start of the lap as fast as possible. There you go, guys. Now coming up here, it's a rolling start, of course, in the Formula 3. And there was a massive concertina in that race that I watched. What they did was they actually slowed right down to let the safety car take off. And as soon as he turned in, Johnny actually slammed the brakes on. I forgot to record that section. He forgot to turn the brakes on. There was a massive concertina effect behind him. And as soon as he saw that concertina forming, it was off and gave him probably a 3 or 4 second advantage. So be wary of the pole sitter and the games that they're going to play here, because if you're concertinaing around here, it's going to be 3 or 4 cars written off. Adversely, into the start of the first lap, the concertina effect will have a massive bunching effect into turn 1. That's the session over. Thanks, Spider-Man. Yeah, big concertina effect into turn 1. And yeah, it's all over after that. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know how you go. I'm struggling. I'll just be happy to finish a couple of races, inherit from a lot of people crashing, and see how we go from there. Thumbs up if you liked it, guys. Down if you didn't. Make sure you subscribe and come check me out on Twitch, and I'll see you next time. Bye.